Welcome to Transcend-ing Tarotcast. We're having a big journey this month for the collective of breaking us free from self-sabotaging and conditioning behavior. And this week we got the Seven of Wands. So this card is all about being defensive. And sometimes it means that we have to step up and defend ourselves. Sometimes it means we are closing ourselves off and not opening up to the possibilities, like building up a wall. So what did we have? So we had the Ten of Cups. So first we had bliss, right? And then we had the Five of Wands, which was the fiery possible debate between us to start getting this charged up debates on how can we break free. And this time it's almost like we are not liking other people's opinions, and we sort of like rejecting what can be coming from other people's opinions. So the task this week is really to open up and allow yourself to see from other people's shoes. Don't get too caught up in what you think and what your opinions are, and just put yourself in other people's shoes and try to understand how they feel and how they see things, and how can we work together from all these different perspectives. Aries, Six of Pentacles. This is about balance, and this is particularly about balance on the giving and receiving. Most people struggle with receiving in this modern day that we have. So what did you have? So you're meant to be reflecting, a lot of reflection on your self-sabotaging behavior. And then you had the Knight of Cups. We spoke about the expectations and bringing those expectations down. And then you had the Emperor, which was about creating the structures, the right structures in which you then can break free and allow that freedom to flow around. Without the structure, then you get lost, right? So this week is about finding the right balance between giving and receiving. It has to be a fair exchange. If you're giving too much, then it's not good for you or for others, because you're creating debt for others, and then people might want to be paying you back, energetically speaking, right? They might want to be giving you things too. If you're not accepting it, then you're creating a problem here. But the other way around, if you only like receiving, then you're also taking instead of receiving. And so that needs to be watched out for as well. All right, so find this balance this week. Taurus, the Magician. Taurus is the second week in a row. Okay, so we had the Star, Healing Month. It was about healing. So it's about coming to yourself, understanding your true self, from everything, the good and the bad, right? Who are you in the good and the bad? Forgiving yourself for your mistakes, because they are part of who you are and you didn't know better at the time. And then you had the Knight of Wands, which is about watching where you go too fast and where you let that fire go out of control, instead of sort of taming that in a way that you can then pay attention to all the details and not make mistakes. And then we had the Magician, and now we have the Magician again, which is all about, we spoke about last week about the magic. When we are in alignment, it seems to others that we are creating magic, but it's just that alignment state of really knowing of who you are, knowing the tools that you have, knowing what you're good at, and knowing what you want to share and vibrate, the energy you want to vibrate at. So the Magician is here again, and so keep working on aligning yourself. Gemini, the Moon. You're having a tough month, Gemini. You had the Lovers, the Seven of Swords, the Five of Pentacles. So it was about the self-sabotaging behavior in relationships and the way you show love and the way you connect to yourself. And then we had the lack of trust, the lack of self-trust, which projects to lack of trust in others, or others not trusting you either. And then the Five of Pentacles, which was the scarcity of the self, of feeling scarce and feeling like poor. The Moon is like, go to the subconscious, be aware, observe your subconscious. If you're not paying attention to what your subconscious is doing, then you can't shift. So the subconscious is all the automatic behaviors that we have that we didn't consciously think, okay, I want to do this right now, and you just do automatically. Pay attention to what you're doing automatically, because if you're not aware of what you're doing, how you're reacting, how you're getting triggered, there's no way of shifting this, okay? So that's your task for this week. Pay attention to your subconscious. Cancer, the Hermit. All right, High Priestess, Knight of Pentacles, and the Lovers is what you got so far for this month. So we spoke about how you're sabotaging your spiritual path, your spiritual plane, and then taking it slowly. In fact, you take it too slowly. You need to speed things up, right? And then you had the Lovers, which was about the union of making the choices, and the union that comes with self-love, and the union of the masculine and feminine in your personal spiritual path. And the Hermit says you need to look at it, the big picture all together, to understand what's going on. If you keep focusing on the details, you're going to miss out on how these details are connected. So you need to bring yourself out of the equation and look in and make these connections happen, so you understand what is the spiritual path about for you. Leo, the Hierophant. So you had the Tower. You're having a really big transformational month that can feel a bit brutal. And then you had the King of Pence, which we needed to look at the structures and how you're structuring your life. And then we had the Knight of Wands, which was about taming that fire that's going too fast, that's going out of control. And now the Hierophant he's the teacher, right? So it may be that you need to find a teacher to help you with all this process, because we don't have to do it alone. You don't have to do it alone. When things are tough, asking for help and asking for a teacher to guide you, to support you, may be the best thing you can do. But also by integrating the lessons and understanding the institutions in your life. How are they serving you? How are they not serving you? All right. So again, big job this month. Virgo, Five of Wands. Spoke about this card last, I think that was the collective card at some point this month. And it's all about competition and debate and sparking up, having healthy debates in a way that, you're listening to other people's opinions, you're expressing yours, things get a little bit fiery, but we still all good with each other, and it's kind of fun to do that. But because so far you're also having a really big month, because you're in the death process, you're in the cocoon, as we spoke about before, and then you had the Moon, which was about going into your subconscious, and then you had the Seven of Swords, which is about the trust and the sense of trust in yourself and how we need to build this up, right? So that can be a little bit of conflict there, and a little bit, so you have to pay attention to where you're creating conflict with others that is not necessarily serious conflict, but it could still be affecting your sense of trust as well, and your sense of transformation. And also allow other people's opinions, open up to other people's opinions as well. Libra, Six of Cups. So how's your month going? You had the Empress, which was about understanding your flow and how you're sabotaging your flow, how you could possibly bring yourself out of the nice flow state by going, I don't deserve this. And then we had the Hermit, which was like, all right, remove yourself, look at all the things and see how they connect together. And then we had the Knight of Pentacles, which was like, take it easy, take it step by step. And now the Six of Cups is the card of purity, childhood innocence, nostalgia, going back to playtime, going back to the roots of when you were a child and how you felt, what made you feel good, right? So in this process of the Empress, of finding a flow, somewhere along the line of childhood, something happened that made you scared of that flow, and you have to tap into that energy again so you can bring it back. You can bring it back and break yourself free from that conditioning that stopped that purity energy, that innocent energy to come and flourish. Scorpio, Queen of Swords. Okay, so We have the Fool, so we're starting a new chapter in life. Last month we had the Tower process, so something new has been born, right? We creating a new foundation in our lives, and the Fool is like, he believes in it, he takes the leap of faith. And this month we're meant to be understanding what conditioning from the past do we have that might stop us from having that leap of faith and overcoming it, right? So the Fool journey can start again. And then you had the Ace of Pentacles supporting that. This journey is also connected to things that are coming in the material realm. And then we had the King of Pentacles, which was about the structure and the groundedness and being grounded to allow the material realm to actually flourish. And the Queen of Swords is also supporting all of this by bringing in the true expression of the word, of the speak, of the mental plane. So how you think, and coming in with honesty, being honest about everything that you know in your life, and speaking it with truth and telling other people in a flow, in a state of flow, of as all the queens do. How do you share everything about this process of faith and structure and material realm? How do you speak your truth around that? And how is your self-sabotaging stopping you from achieving these things? That's what you need to think about this week. Sagittarius, Queen of Pentacles. The universe, the Hierophant, you've been having a big month. It was all about concluding a cycle, and especially related to the self-sabotaging. So concluding this cycle of where you end up harming yourself by having behaviors that don't serve you. And then we had the thing about integrating the teachings with the Hierophant, and possibly even finding a teacher. And then we had the Moon, which was about really observing your subconscious and starting to get to understand your subconscious. And the Queen of Pentacles comes to say that you can now somehow ground all of these experiences and start flowing with them, and start nurturing yourself in a way that you can then grow from a structured place, but in flow. So this week, just focus on bringing yourself to earth, connecting to earth, and connecting to that nurturing energy. Capricorn, King of Swords. So we started this month with how are the people affecting our ability to stay independent in our energy. How are we allowing other people's energy to sabotage our own, and how are we going to find and break free from that and find our independence within? And then we had the Seven of Pentacles, which was about, let's be patient about this process, it takes time. And then we had the Hermit, which was, okay, remove yourself, start connecting the dots that might not seem connected to you right now, and see how these things could relate, even if they don't feel like they would relate. And now we have the King of Swords, which is you come to a place of truth. You come to a place of honesty. You come to a place that you suddenly understand what these things are, and you can finally express them. You can finally tell whoever, whatever, the truth about it, and how you feel about it, and how you're going to fall into your chariot. Aquarius, the Devil. All right, so Devil is the card of the collective for the month. So we all going through this process of breaking ourselves free from self-sabotaging behavior. Then you had a Hermit, which meant you had to, observe your surroundings and start understanding how things are working in the big picture. And then you had Temperance, which was the priority list I told you to make to find a balance for yourself in what you do in the priorities. And then last week you had the Ace of Pence, where we said, you've done a good job so far, so you're ready to start something, and you're ready to express something, right? So what's happening this week is you're in the verge of self-sabotaging all this process again. So pay attention even more to the self-sabotaging behavior that you have, and start really recognizing what it is so you can break free from it. Pisces, Four of Wands. So you've had a big journey so far this month. You had Justice, which was about the fairness. We spoke a lot about fairness this month. And then you had the World, which was a cycle concluding around those self-sabotaging behaviors that will keep you out of being fair to everyone, and how not being fair to others was hurting you as well. And then you had the Hierophant, which was the institution in which this is all sort of happening. And now the Four of Wands comes to say that you have found reasons to celebrate these structures. You have found reasons to be content and happy and passionate again with the things around you, with the people around you, and this sort of fairness game that you had to sort of get to know this month. And it's all sort of coming together and bringing you some reasons to be grateful and to celebrate it. All right, beautiful people, I will see you next week. We still have one more week in April's Tarotcast. So yeah, next week will be our last one. And lots of love.